This is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and welcome to another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. And today I am going to be taking a look at the short and amazing catalogue from an incredible power trio featuring three of the best musicians in the world and three true masters of their craft and three true legends who, in my opinion, need no introduction whatsoever. I am talking about, of course, the one and only guitarist Frank Gambale, bassist Stuart Hamm, and drummer Steve Smith, also known as GHS. So, GHS was a one off band that was put together on Tone Center Records, and between these three legends, Frank Gambale, Stuart Hamm, and Steve Smith have seen it all, done it all, and played and collaborated with just about everyone. Frank Gambale, of course, is from the Chick Corea Elektric band and Vital Information. Stuart Hamm has played with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, and Steve Smith from Journey, Steps Ahead, and Vital Information. So, real supergroup, and as you'd expect from three monster musicians of this caliber, you get nothing but the absolute best. Jaw dropping musicianship, tight playing, everything you want, you name it, these guys deliver, and they are, without a doubt, the real deal. So, for today's edition, I am going to be taking a look at the short catalogue of GHS, which is a total of three studio albums. And as always, I am going to be talking about each album individually, and I'll be choosing which one I think is the best one. Not an easy challenge when you've only got three albums, but I can honestly tell you now, these three albums are incredibly strong. Any one of these albums can be a number one. That's how good this band really is, and it really is a testament to the caliber of Frank Gambale, Stuart Hamm, and Steve Smith. These guys, this isn't their first barbecue. They've been around the blocks numerous times. This is nothing new to them, but it really shows you that when you put three musicians like these guys together, magic is going to happen. So we're going to start with the first album, which came out in 1998, and this is the debut album for GHS, and this one is called Show Me What You Can Do. So Show Me What You Can Do, as I mentioned, is the debut album for GHS on Tone Center Records, and as you'd expect from three top-notch musicians of this caliber, nothing but the absolute best. Frank Gambale really rips and shreds it up with his sweep picking technique. He's just all over the music. Stuart Hamm has a muscular presence and comes in thick and heavy with his bass lines and rock solid playing. And Steve Smith brings plenty of power with his hard hitting drumming. And these three outstanding musicians give each other lots of space to do their thing and really showcase their chops. And as you'd expect, this album is absolutely excellent, and you're not going to find a dull moment with this album. These guys really come to play and deliver an epic performance. There's no weak link here. This is three of the best musicians in the world, and it doesn't get any better than Frank Gambale, Stuart Hamm, and Steve Smith. So let's have a look, shall we? So all of the compositions are written and composed by Gambale, Hamm, and Smith, and there's a little bit of information about how this project came together, and it's absolutely remarkable. To put three guys like this in a band, you're going to get something really special. And as I said, this isn't the first time these guys have done things like this. They have seen it all, done it all, and just about played with everyone. So this is just another day at the office for these three guys. So we got the first track, Bad Intent, unbelievable opener, just really packs a hell of a punch. The Promise, absolutely excellent. Dangerous Curves is another great track. Beyond the Bridge is another great track. Sync, absolutely remarkable. Wrong and Strong, just love that track. One of the best tracks of this entire album. Astral Traveller, another great song. Tanya's Touch is just absolutely fantastic. And the closer, Lydia's Love Van, which is the longest track of this album, which is like 9 minutes. It's just killer. It's just an absolute killer closer. And there's no weak track here. Every song from start to finish is just excellent. So the standout tracks for me are Bad Intent, The Promise, Beyond the Bridge, Wrong and Strong, Tanya's Touch, and Lydia's Love Van. Excellent debut album from GHS, and one that I would definitely highly recommend to all fans of these three musicians. It doesn't get any better than this. This is absolutely power trio at its hard hitting best. And as I said, it doesn't get any better than Gambale, Hamm, and Smith. So there you have it. Show me what you can do. And let me tell you something. These guys really do. Excellent debut album. Love it. So we move on to the next album, and this one came out in 2000, and this one is called The Light Beyond. So The Light Beyond is a follow-up to GHS's debut album, Show Me What You Can Do, and this album takes things to the next level and is pretty much a continuation of the debut, which features plenty of shredding guitar playing from Frank Gambale, rock solid bass playing from Stuart Hamm, and monstrous drumming from Steve Smith. So, as I said, it's pretty much a continuation of the first album. And just as I said at the beginning, this is another fantastic album from three amazing musicians who together just continue to just keep getting better and better. And it's a great follow up. It really is a great follow up to the first album. You know, any one of these albums I would recommend. They're all good, well produced, and these guys have never sounded better than they do here. And you know, they just absolutely thrive in this power trio environment. So all of the compositions are written and composed by Frank Gambale, Stuart Hamm, and Steve Smith. So let's have a look, shall we? So there's a little bit more information about how this album came together. And there are the guys. So for the first track we got is Katadine, which is a great opener. Yang is a fantastic track. First Look is another great song. The Throne of Savitar is just absolutely savage. Nostalgia is short but still really good. Yin is another great track. The Spirits of Dun Dun is excellent. Lumpy's Lament is another great track. Isle of Few, short but it's really good. And then we got the closer, Fugitive Aspirations. So there's a couple of little short tracks, but a lot of the tracks are quite fairly longish. You know, the longest track is like 9 minutes, and like the shortest track is like 1 minute and 37 seconds. But every track on here from top to bottom is just excellent. And as I said, you know, when you get three guys of this caliber in a trio environment, you know, special things are going to happen. And these guys continue to do what they do best, and that's deliver the goods. So the standout tracks for me are Yang, The Throne of Savitar, Yin, Lumpy's Laments, and Fugitive Aspirations. Excellent follow up to the debut album, and one that I would also highly recommend to anyone who is looking to get into the catalogue of GHS. It's just absolutely fantastic, and highly recommended to all fans of these three musicians. You know, there's no great place to start than here, trust me. So there you have it. The Lights Beyond, a great follow up to Show Me What You Can Do. Excellent stuff. So we move on to the next and final album in this catalogue, and this one came out in 2002, and this one is called GHS Free. So, as I mentioned, this is the third and final album in this trilogy of albums by GHS, and it's a real good one. It's an absolute good one, a real banger, and a great way to end what was essentially a very short lived but incredible power trio. And these guys really go out on a real high. Gambale, as I mentioned earlier, really rips and shreds it up on the guitar. Hamm, rock solid on the bass, just absolutely heavy and dirty. And Smith, plenty of great drumming and bringing a lot of power, as always, to the music. So most of the compositions are written and composed by Gambale, Hamm, and Smith, but there's also one co-composition by Smith and Berman, and most of the compositions, they're like co-compositions or compositions on their own, but it's a great album from top to bottom and absolutely fantastic from this amazing power trio. So let's have a look, shall we? It's a little bit of information about how this album came together. Bit bummed out this was the last album these guys did. Would have been nice to have seen maybe a live album. I know there's a best of GHS that's out there, but just pretty much compiles tracks from the three albums. I would have loved to have seen a live album from this band because these guys just absolutely smoked. So we got the first track, All in Your Head, great opener. The Great Roberto is another great track as well. Confuse a Blues, absolutely brilliant with great playing from Gambale. Saving Grace, absolutely gorgeous. Culture Clash, another great track as well. Geo 100 is excellent. November, absolutely brilliant. And the closer, The Challenger, is just absolutely amazing. But a great final album from GHS and really packs a punch. And over the course of these three albums, you can really hear this trio just continue to grow stronger and stronger with every listen. And it's just absolutely fusion at its heaviest and hard hitting best. Doesn't get any better than Frank Gambale, Stuart Hamm, and Steve Smith. So, standout tracks for me are The Challenger, November, All in Your Head, Saving Grace, Culture Clash, and The Great Roberto and Geo 100. But there's no bad track on any of these albums, or this one for that matter. They're all strong from start to finish, and no single dull moments whatsoever. I would probably say, if I had to choose the standout musician of this trio, all due respect, I've got to go with Frank Gambale. He is the man on all three of these albums. Not taking anything away from Stuart Hamm and Steve Smith, they sound incredible as always, and they really give it their all. But Frank Gambale, he's just such a dominant figure, and he can just excel in any setting you put him in. And for me, the trio setting is where Frank Gambale is at his absolute best. So there you have it. GHS Free, excellent album, and what a way to end this trilogy of masterpieces. Tremendous stuff. So, which GHS album out of this trilogy do I think is the best one? Well, any one of these albums could easily be a number one, although very short, but at the same time, very impressive. But as much as I love The Lights Beyond and GHS Free, I have to go with the first album, Show Me What She Can Do. I think this is the best album of the trilogy. It really makes a powerful statement and packs a hell of a punch. And this really, to me, made a huge impression on me. Frank Gambale has never sounded better than he does in this trio environment. Steve Smith, and Gambale are no strangers to one another. They have that deep rapport after many years of playing together in Vital Information. That's on full display. But the wild card in this trio is, of course, Stuart Hamm. He just fits in with these two like a glove, and he's just rock solid on bass. And as I mentioned earlier, Frank Gambale, to me, he's the dominant man out of this trio. He really shreds and rips it up on the guitar, and he just burns through the music from start to finish. He just doesn't let up. And all three musicians, they sound incredible and on top musical form. But as I said, I love The Lights Beyond. I love GHS 3, but this for me is the band's best album. And if this was the only album, this would still be a masterpiece. It's excellent stuff. And as I said, these guys have never sounded better than they do playing together. So there you have it. GHS, Show Me What You Can Do. For me, the best GHS album out of this trilogy. Excellent stuff, and one that I would highly recommend to everyone. Love it. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite GHS album from this trilogy? Is it Show Me What You Can Do, The Lights Beyond, or GHS 3? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourite albums. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.